Welcome to the show, and what a complete load of shit we've got for you tonight.
I used to laugh at the idea of a woman prime minister.
John, you can ask me questions if you give me notice.
There's no time necessarily for manners.
Doesn't give my opponents much time to run.
I'm responsible for introducing the concept of MMP by accident.
They hate the system.
I used to call the old culture the concrete playground.
Poets in this country have always been the smart ones.
I've been performing since I was born.
I can smell the uranium on it as you lean towards it.
Yes! No mai Heidi mai! Not Magenta, I'm Detective Rogers, or Pro-Jamaican Rogers Tokuingua. I was like, for a second I was like, wait, I'm supposed to say Magenta? No, I'm not Magenta.
no, just say Bruce to Sam. I mean, hey, I do own a copycat, so, I mean, Bruce to Sam would be completely fitting to what I own as a business. I mean, hey, and at the moment it's paying... Well, it pays for the Restream account to sit there and live stream every Sunday for the Auto Paper podcast and for the Hits and the Ballot shows.
Of course.
Being here is paying for it.
Oh, well, bless you. And thank you so much for joining in last minute, as we didn't have a host and we wouldn't be live if it wasn't for you. So thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Right. I know what it's like to fly solo. You need that second person to bounce off the conversation points, get the commentary going.
Well,
otherwise, it feels like you're sitting there talking to an echo chamber.
Not quite. Like, I can talk to myself. I got the gift of gab. I can talk non-stop for ages, but there's a couple of issues. Right after work, don't really have the energy without my nap. Secondly, I hadn't really I had structured the show around two people, you know, having a conversation, that kind of thing. So if there wasn't another person here, it would have just been a completely different situation, where I'd just be like, well, I have nothing to discuss here, you know? Like, it's like, how long can I talk about the Greens AI data center? Not that long, probably by myself. But I did have some backup stuff that maybe we can go into later. But looks like we've already got a demand to bring back Magenta. It seems from Kiwi Rob.
Sorry, Magenta's in another electric there, Rob. I'm not going to sit there and go to that place called Wellington Central. I'm happily parking my butt here in Rongotai.
Oh, all right. Maybe your wish will be granted next week, Rob. All right, you can join us then, perhaps. Until then,
still very good.
Yeah, you've got me at least, so you know. Be happy with what you have there, Kiwi Rob. Anyway,
sometimes they don't realise they want they've gone until they get it gone, but then next week you might say bring back Bruce to Sam. You never know. That could be what Kira.
You might rock their socks off, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway. How's your weekend been? How's your Monday been? All that kind of stuff. Anything exciting?
I mean, Monday has been a fun day. A lot of mileage. 2 trips up the Narronga Gorge. And also a trip out towards near the airport, as usually happens with it. And you know, as normal goes, I did Newtown Residents Association GST return yesterday, along with a block of video editing, because Whitby Community Market was on a hiatus this weekend because the school double booked the venue.
Okay.
Someone
fucked up their job there.
I'm on the hunt to try and find a new vehicle to basically move, because my van, that 420,000 Ks, is just kind of like on its last legs.
Oh, all right.
I know, I love my Suzuki APV. It's the only Japanese car that I know of that you can buy in New Zealand that can only get a manual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I love my manuals. I love my manuals.
Like brand new.
Yeah, I don't know if you can buy it brand new now.
I didn't think you could buy anything brand new and manual these days.
Yes, you can. European cars.
Well, yeah, I guess probably
but,
like
I mean,
sportsy
do you really
stuff.
Want to spend $2,500 to replace the clutch when the clutch goes out?
No. I wasn't talking about like custom order type stuff. I just meant like, you know, something you'd walk into a shop and get.
Yeah, pretty much European cars. But I mean, put it this way: when you go to car dealers now, you know, like certain brands, they're made to order. Like my grandma's this is a weird combination. My grandma's goddaughter's husband's brother works in the mini factory in Birmingham. And 50 and this, I mean, this
they
is
still have a mini factory in Birmingham.
Birmingham, yeah, to make the Mini Coopers and that sort of thing.
I thought they would have got rid of it from Birmingham.
No. Well, maybe it might have changed now, but Tony said at the time, this is Grandma's 89th birthday, and as people know, my grandma's 98.
Oh.
yeah. So this is her 89th
I hope she's
birthday.
got many more years left in her tank, hopefully.
It's all right, 2 more years till she gets the card from the king.
Yeah? Is that an actual thing? Is that an actual thing? You get it? Oh, cool.
Yeah, it used to be a telegram back in the day. So King George VI...
I would demand a telegram.
So the reason why it was a telegram was because it was the quickest way to send it to his subjects celebrating their 100th birthday from the UK. However, as time's gone on, we no longer have telegrams. It's been replaced with a card from the king.
That's
now,
so sad.
I don't know if Queen Elizabeth for 70 years, but so I don't know if the signature on the card is a freshly inked signature done by Charles or Queen Elizabeth II or King George VI. But at least it's one of those random nostalgias of what we have as being part of the Commonwealth, is that on your 100th birthday you get a card from the king. And I actually think that's a damn good, lovely gesture that you can have. And it's unique to the British Commonwealth. And so if you're an American, you don't get it. If you don't have a Commonwealth citizenship in New Zealand, you don't get it. You only get it if you are a citizen of a Commonwealth country.
I'll be real. I don't know. I might even, if I got to 100, I might even be like, really? It's got to be the kid. It should be like a pick a celebrity thing.
Was it the 7th by that point?
That's true. That's true. Who knows? Maybe there won't even be a monarchy by the time I'm 100. Which year will that be? Let's see.
I don't know. I mean, it's weird how the British monarchy keeps evolving.
Yeah. True.
If you actually take a look at all the monarchies around the world, it's the one that actually has survived, but it's the one that's always been ahead of the game of making changes and devolving power to the people. Or, as a great way that could be said there, the monarch's got no power, so the people don't have a go at the monarch, they have a go at the government.
Tell that to Oliver Cromwell. He might disagree with you. Anyway.
I wonder if the Kingy-Tunga movement will do the same thing.
What, overthrow the king?
No, but the card for the 100th birthday. Can you picture receiving 2 cards, one from King Charles and then one from our Māori Queen? Now, that would be awesome.
I prefer the Māori Queen one.
Yeah, my grandma said if she got one from the Māori Queen, she'll equally happily display it. Because she was like, when she heard about the Kingy-Tunga movement change, she was wrecked that there was another female at the helm.
I'd prefer like a high five, actually. I'd be like, can I high five you? Keep the letter, I just want a high five. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, we should probably stop talking about royalty. We'll lose half our audience, I think, talking about that too long. Yes. So, shall we talk about the breaking news that came in? We'll get right into it, which is Luxon is ruled out working with Top, apparently. So, any thoughts on this so far? We'll watch the video. Let's listen to it.
Someone's made a decision.
It's true. Anyway, let's listen to what he has to say.
You won't coalesce with them?
Very strong position. Yep. I mean, if we don't want to do business with parties who want to increase taxes.
Vote for opportunity is a vote for Labor or for the left?
Yeah, it is. It's a vote for Labor and the Greens because essentially at the moment, and I look at their policies, you've got a
it is if you rule them out.
That wants to make every New Zealander a beneficiary. You've got a land tax sitting there that actually is going to be massive. And what we've seen on the other side, what is it? Wealth tax. I've lost track. Capital gains tax.
Did he say they have a UBI? Because that again, it's kind of a
no. He hasn't mentioned that part. He doesn't mention the UBI. He just mentions the taxation part.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say it's a bit of a misnomer. People keep saying UBI, but it's like
put it this way: if Christopher Luxon was a business person, if you run a country like a business, you want to be able to collect more revenue. It shouldn't be a bad thing collecting revenue. I mean, Like, I can't get my head around why collecting revenue is such a bad thing. Why do all these business politicians who say, oh, we should run the country like a business, seem to sit down there and keep coming out with twaddle that sits there and says, like, we're going to run the country like a business, and our way is by slashing income.
Exactly, taking less of a profit. It's like, does that make any sense to you? Okay.
Yeah. It's like, put it this way, I wouldn't even trust them to sit down there and run a lemonade stand the way these guys are going. I mean, next thing they're going to sit down there and, what's the next thing they're going to sit there and do? Sell lemonade, was it lemonades that cost $1 to make for 25 cents?
However, so if you're thinking it from a business perspective, that's not smart. But if you're the customer, and you're the person buying that product, and you hear the CEO go, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make things cheaper for the customer. You're going to be like, fuck yeah. So, I mean, it does have its appeal.
But, I mean, put it this way. These business people still want to have these hefty dividends. I mean, remember, when Luxon was CEO of Air New Zealand, Air New Zealand had some of the biggest dividends on record.
Okay,
and we're
I didn't know
talking
that.
like 16, 17 cents a share, where the average used to be about 6.5 cents per share.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I should have bought some Air New Zealand stock.
He also broke the deal with Virgin.
That's true. And he sold, he was the one that sold like our really good spot at like London Airport or whatever, right?
Yes, yeah, the one at Heathrow, the slot.
Yeah, genius long-term business decision.
Yeah, I know. On the short-term hoof. And now we have to go to a crappy airport like Gatwick.
Oh.
They say they could go either way.
Well, I've been saying when people ask, our view is, I gave a view at the beginning of this year. I said, of the parties in Parliament, the 6 of us that are here, who I could and couldn't work with. One of the criteria is when you want to spend more, tax more, borrow more, we ain't doing business with you. And when I look at the top policies as I see them today, and in a very cursory glance, it looks like they just want to increase taxes. That's not what we want to do.
You won't go into a governing arrangement.
Sorry?
You won't go into a governing arrangement with the opportunity party.
Well, I'm just saying to you, they want to increase taxes. We're a party of low tax. It wouldn't be surprising to any of you to say we don't think we want to do business with them.
He loves to make things so simple. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying they want more taxes and we want less taxes. Therefore, that doesn't match up. It's like, okay. Thanks for explaining it so simplistically. I mean, I don't know. I guess it tells you the sort of the level of people he's sort of trying to pander to, I suppose, in some capacity. But yeah, look, there's not too much else to really talk about here. It's just, I guess, as you said, at least someone's making a decision. But
yeah, at least someone.
So
and as someone who sits on the progressive left, I like that because I've met many Opportunity Party candidates, along with Greens, along with Labour, along with God, I've got the Wellington Bays national candidate's phone number on my phone. Hey, at least he actually buys coffee from me. But yeah, well, someone's making the decision. But I think that also helps voters have a bit of a clear idea where things are going to land. I mean, who knows? It could be a Opportunities New Zealand First and Acton's Greens coalition and push Labour and
you would hope that this would clear the air and tell a lot of people, like, hey, voting top is now no longer a risk for a white-right coalition. But firstly, that depends on them taking Luxon's word for something, which, I don't know, is anyone going to do that? Secondly, it's going to not, like, quell any of the concerns of these all these conspiracy people who are like top is a Trojan horse and they're actually here to steal votes from the left so the right can get back in because they're paid by fucking, I don't even know who it is in the conspiracy that are apparently paying for it. And even then it doesn't make sense to me because I'm like, why would these businesses put all their money into top when they could just put it into the right-wing parties and just strengthen their, like, it's such a convoluted conspiracy that it doesn't make sense to me. I just don't understand it.
Well, it doesn't make sense because it's not something that you would sit there and actually do.
No, it's not.
That's the thing,
But yeah, unfortunately the discussion around TOPS becomes so reductive, it's kind of pointless to talk about. I would just love to see a new party, okay? That's what excites me about TOP. I don't like the party all that much. You know, their policies are meh, but I would just like to see another party in there, especially because that gives more leeway for taking, especially votes away from NZ First and stealing what's his name? Winston's Kingmaker sort of potential,
which is... I'd love someone to dethrone Winston from being the Kingmaker position.
Exactly.
Put it this way.
A pure centre party, you know?
Yeah, he's in the direction of Dianne Feinstein. I mean, she's the senator who my grandma said should have retired 20 years ago before she died at 91. I do like what Middle Earth Marxists have said. The Alliance could return. Yes, and I know the Alliance candidate standing in Wellington North. He sits in a silly hat party for the Wellington Herald.
That is one I will go all in on, and I will tell people, hey, if there's an Alliance candidate, fucking vote for them. Go Alliance, because I would love to see Alliance as well. That would be great.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we'll move on from this. We'll may as well get into this big story from sort of over the weekend. The Greens wanting to push a big data center consents. We'll get into Chloe's thing later because I've heard things about it. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard things. But let's just do.
It's an interesting interview.
It's an interesting interview. I've heard.
Tova tried to do gotcha politics, and it just did not land.
Okay, well, we'll get into that in a second. Let's just get the briefing from One News here.
The Green Party also making an election pledge today, saying it would put a one-year pause on consenting new AI data centres to allow for proper rules to be in place. But the Prime Minister says the move would be foolish and could put off international investment. Kushla Norman reports.
So basically the whole area that we can see is going to be covered up.
Makarewa near Invercargill, ground zero for the AI data centre debate, economic generator or energy drainer.
They extract an enormous toll on the power grid, driving up electricity prices for regular people and local industry. So today, the Greens are announcing our common sense call for a one-year pause on the consenting of new AI data centres.
It's quite an extreme policy. It seems to be developed on what they're reading in.
What? Okay, thoughts on that?
It's quite an extreme policy. AI is quite an extreme deviation to a standard data centre.
Yeah.
It's a bit like going from being a 2-lane country road to a 8-lane motorway monstrosity in one hit.
Yeah, no, the fucking, I don't know, like that is just so hyperbolic. Who is this guy? NZ Tech Chief Executive. Yeah, of course he'd be saying this. Like, yeah, but there's nothing extreme about this. It's not even like, hey, we're putting a stop to these altogether. It's just like, hey, let's slow down for like a year. Yeah. Let's just make sure we got all the facts right. Let's make sure we get all our ducks in a row before we fucking let the sort of dog off the leash here and just go fucking all in on fucking AI data centers and shit. Yeah. So
the media happening in other countries.
They talk about Greens fearmongering.
What's actually really happening here in New Zealand.
There's now a statewide pause on hyperscale data centres.
New York recently imposed a one-year pause on construction, giving regulators time to address questions around environmental harm, energy demand and water use. Chloe Swarbrick says New Zealand needs to take the same approach.
So if we look at the potential benefit, let's actually, again, weigh that up. That is why we are calling for this pause.
I'm sorry, Chaz, are you not pro-Jamaican? Are you anti-Jamaican? Is that what I'm hearing? Because why would I not be pro-Jamaican? I'm sorry, that's a silly question to ask, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
A potential coalition partner showing some interest.
There is a place for data centres in New Zealand, but there need to be clear guidelines and rules about where they go, how they use energy and how they use water.
New Zealand has 56 data centres. 20 more are in the planning.
We actually don't have enough in New Zealand versus how much data we're using, and so we're using a lot overseas, and In New Zealand, we actually have quite good rules in place. Like the biggest data centre, hyperscale data centre in New Zealand, only uses about $150 worth of water a month for its water bills.
The Southland Data Centre wouldn't be affected by the Greens plan. The $3.5 billion
You didn't have any
project
numbers
will-
on that, did you?
No.
Fact checking? No.
No, I didn't have a chance to do that.
You didn't have a chance to look into that? Damn it. Yeah, I haven't either.
already has approval, but Christopher Luxon says a moratorium sends the wrong message.
A bit like the oil and gas ban, to turn off investment before it's even arrived in New Zealand, I think is really foolish.
National hinting it's considering its own AI strategy, with data centres a key part. Kushla Norman, One News.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, there's almost no rules in place. Like he was, our rules are pretty good. He's talking about the RMA, I guess, by default. I suppose that's sort of what he's implying.
There would be no guidelines in the RMA that could actually steer a process, because it's such an AI data centre is quite a new concept to the system. It is very different to the existing data centres. Now, I think data centres are not notifiable resource consent, which means that effectively you don't have to publish advertisements in the Gazette or the local rag or online on these things there, because they'll be classed as a not notifiable consent. And that's possibly one of the things that needs to be changed. Also, the same thing has come up with solar farms as well. That's another issue. So I get regular emails on the proposed solar farm that's in the South Wairarapa, and going through the whole, because they're challenging the resource consent process because of the fact that there are no guidelines, and they're seeing it as it's been done on a fertile farm, not possibly in unusable swampy lands or somewhere like that, where it's been done on fertile land, not on unusable land or land that could not be used for other purposes. And so it's been challenged, because we currently, for data centres or for solar panels, we don't really have any guidelines of when it comes to a mass scale. We have more guidelines on how to build a wind farm in New Zealand than we have to build a solar farm or to build a data centre.
Is that just under the old RMA, or would that be under the new RMA
that's currently the old
as well?
RMA, which is how all the legislation is running under at the moment. So until the Natural Hazards Act and the Planning Act pass, we're still operating on the 1991 legislation.
Okay, so we haven't even got close to getting to the new RMA then.
Exactly, yeah.
I thought they were trying to fast track that through and get all that done.
And fast tracking is usually bypassing the commissioner stage and going straight to the Environment Court, which can be useful. In Dunedin, the Environment Court brought up the reason why the new Dunedin Hospital has to be 60 metres tall is so helicopters don't sit down there and knock off church steeples while they're trying to land.
Fair enough. There's a lot of church steeples in Dunedin, I can tell you that.
And that's the reason why it had to sit 60 metres tall. Yeah. And plus, also the helipad was designed to have two helicopters land on there at once, or one big military helicopter. Because the military helicopters are about twice the weight to a standard Westpac rescue helicopter.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
you know more about helicopters
but the military ones can carry a lot more people / patients in them.
Yeah. So, because I'm now confused, because I thought we already had passed all the new RMA shit. So
no, it's sitting at second reading.
I swear, they were patting themselves on the back last year for the RMA.
Sitting down there and announcing it, and actually
it was just announcing. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, it has gone through to that. So it's gone in there. So I will bring up the order paper. And actually show you where it's sitting on there, because they have just appeared back on the order paper in the last week.
All right.
And I think they are sitting. So currently, so if we sit there and go here now, at the moment, this can change. This can change with so this could change all before tomorrow. But currently, where the two bills are sitting at the moment are sitting at number 47, 48, and 49. 47 and 48 on the order paper of government bills to do.
Okay.
So that is currently where the RMA Replacement Act. Now, that could change tomorrow because it is a government bill, and that is done on the desires of the Leader of the House, and the Leader of the House can do what he what she feels like, because actually the Leader of the House is now Louise Upston, it's no longer Chris Bishop, and so they could end up at a completely different place.
Shit. All right. Okay, well, we're going to just quickly watch this one as well, which is just more about the community and the way they're feeling, which I also thought was an interesting
Hundreds
piece.
of Southlanders turned out with questions about a major AI data centre last night, with the company behind the facility absent from the meeting. The $3.5 billion project's already been approved in Makarewa, 10 minutes north of Invercargill. But locals say they want to know what it means for their community. Sam Ollie was at the meeting.
Capitalism's so brave.
The Invercargill Working Men's Club at capacity, with some left standing in the hallway.
That's what you've got tonight, and this venue's too small.
And for part of the meeting, One News kept out too.
Go outside.
Wait, what?
The meeting's organiser surprised by the turnout.
As we come across more information, we're going to have more evenings like this and more opportunities for people to have their say.
Questions about power, noise, and whether locals had been properly consulted.
I don't know.
I mean,
we've got.
I think this is pretty indicative.
Available that they want.
They'd hoped to put those questions directly to DataGrid, but the company didn't attend.
The centre is expected to open on the site behind me in 2028. DataGrid says construction will create 1,200 jobs, but when the centre's fully open, only 80 staff will be needed.
One News requested an interview from DataGrid, but the company says in a statement it...
So how many jobs fucking AI going to threaten? Like hundreds of thousands,
it's
millions?
Going to add 80 jobs to the Southland economy. You know, I mean, the size of three primary school classrooms.
Great. Is that a graveyard?
Half of the year, what do you call? No, a third of the remaining part of the year 13 lot of when I was at Primary College, because there were 220 students in year 13 when I was there, which was the biggest number we've ever had, and it's only a third of the year 13 seventh formers when I was at college.
Yeah, but they're going to surround it with some nice trees, though. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to look lovely.
I mean, why aren't there any solar panels on top of those roofs?
I don't know, but they seem to have appropriately put a graveyard over here for their employees when they drop to death from overworking. So, you get to get buried in your own tomb.
It couldn't have 80 car parks because there's no public transport to the data centre.
Oh, maybe you could just live in there, you know?
Part of its resource consent.
Yeah. They're gonna have a little 3 meter sort of cell that you can sort of stay in, and they'll be your accommodation. You can share a toilet with the person next to you.
Had all required approvals before consent was granted. It says the facility will use Southland's colder climate rather than groundwater for cooling, and its power agreements will support new renewable generation, bringing wholesale prices down. Today, Mercury announcing it's bought a 12% stake in DataGrid for $50 million after agreeing to long-term power supply at the site. Critics unconvinced consumers will benefit.
What we have seen with data centers.
I guess they don't control it, but that, would that kind of be crossing into some form of conflict of interest there with the government then?
Well, with Mercury, no, because Mercury is arm's length from the government. It's the state-owned enterprise with its own independent board. The other thing is...
They still have shares though, don't they?
Yes, and the government is the majority shareholder.
Yeah, so they could still have a financial incentive there to let this go through because they could be like, hey, this will give us revenue.
And also, at the same time, the Manapori Dam electricity lines to Tiwai smelter go right past there, as you can probably see right in the picture there. Put it this way, I hate it every time their contract comes from renewal and they threaten to leave New Zealand.
Yeah.
One thing I do support Winston Peters on is I don't support Winston talking about, they promised a lifetime discounted rate because of Muldoon. But, I do support the fact that, he did sit there and say one time, why don't we nationalise it?
I don't support Winston. I just happen to agree with him on occasion. That's how I like to put it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's a better way to put it.
Yeah, you got that one, yeah.
But I do think it is an interesting thing to consider, at least long term. The more we get like government having investments in private sector, and that crossing into like resource consents and all that kind of stuff, having potential financial conflict of interests in the way they allow things to go through or not. I think it's something we need to perhaps consider long term. Hey, this could fuck us over, you know, especially because they're like not interested in gaining revenue through like tax and stuff or other means. Like they got to get their dough somehow, and they might see this as perhaps a cash cow that will bring them a bit more income, so they can make their books look better.
It is estimated to use 6% of the national current power usage.
Jesus.
Whereas Tiwai Aluminium Smelter is currently at 15%. So can you picture 28%? No, 23%. We'll get. I think we get the picture. A quarter of New Zealand's power being consumed by an aluminium smelter and an AI data centre could be potentially on the cards.
All right, we'll get on to this Chloe conversation, shall we?
Oh yeah. Let's see how good old MP for Auckland Central does.
She's looking great though.
But we begin today with data centres. As we go to air, the Green Party has announced a policy to put a one-year moratorium in place for any new AI data centres to be consented or built. Co-leader Chloe Swarbrick is with us ahead of the party's AGM today. Morena, Chloe, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What's the purpose of this policy?
Well, we've seen that there is real concern out there as hundreds of people have gathered in Southland protesting against an AI data centre that's been consented behind closed doors, which will consume 6% of the country's electricity grid. That is more than the size of Hamilton. And as we've seen internationally, that there is real concern that the water usage of these AI data centres turns local water supply into sludge. So we're just saying, let's take a moment. Let's have a common sense think about what these AI data centres, who they're actually benefiting, and whether New Zealanders want them in the first place. A national conversation, if you will.
Okay, so is it just AI data centres, or is it data centres in general?
Yeah, so we already have dozens of data centres, and of course data sovereignty is incredibly important, having our own data here on our own shores. But AI data centres, especially at a hyperscale, are consuming huge amounts of power, which are then actually driving up regular people's power bills, as we've seen in experiences across the rest of the world.
That example you just gave, the Southland hyperscale data centre, that is a data centre, not just an AI data centre. A lot of those big AI factories, as they're called, also process and store data, speaking to that sovereignty issue.
Yeah, but I think if you were to look at the power consumption here of that AI data centre, the data grid centre down in Southland.
It's AI and data. It's not just an AI data
but it is consuming around 280 megawatts of power. The hyperscale AI data centres are defined as consuming around 50 megawatts of power, and we are talking about consumption in excess of approximately 300,000 households. That is 1.5 times the size of Hamilton.
Yeah, but it's not just, my point is more, it's not just an AI data centre. It is a data centre that does AI. And all of the jurisdictions in the world that have done this, including the ones that you cite in your press release, it's for data centres generally, not just AI data centres.
AI data centres are far more hungry. So that addition of AI draws down far more on the grid. And the point that we're making is that if we are to choose to go ahead with these things as a country, then we need to have a national level conversation about who is actually benefiting and who is paying the price. Because as we're seeing internationally, the power consumption of these AI data centres is displacing costs onto regular people. Their power bills are going up, and it's having massive impact on local resources.
I'm sorry, I'm still unclear as to whether it's only AI data centres. So if they're doing anything else, they don't get captured by this. So the Southland data grid data centre wouldn't apply.
It would apply because
it's got AI data as well.
Yeah, but
so anyone doing AI within their mix.
Effectively hyperscale AI data centres, which are defined internationally as consuming in excess of 50 megawatts of power.
Okay, cool. So you say it will apply to that data centre in Southland.
We got that cleared
You also say in your press release that we need to write the rules before the concrete is poured. Earthworks are due to start next month in Southland. So you're not going to write the rules before the concrete is poured?
Well, this is why we're saying that we need to take a moment right now, because we can see that already behind closed doors, this data grid centre has already been consented behind closed doors without community input. So before any...
They were already doing bomb testing in the Pacific by the time people decided to be like, hey, we should probably try and ban bomb testing in the Pacific. Like, it didn't matter. It didn't mean like we shouldn't.
Has already been done.
Yeah, it's like, no, we definitely shouldn't be doing atomic bomb testing in the Pacific, even though they've already been doing it. Like, let's get on top of this. We want to stop it. Like, yeah.
If our AI data centres are consented, let's take a moment and make intentional regulation, because I'm sure what we'll see in the wake of us making this announcement is a range of people coming out of the woodwork and saying, we're going to miss out on all of the opportunity that we're seeing internationally. Yet what we are seeing internationally is regular people coming together across the political aisle, protesting these things because of the impact that it is having on their local community.
But your policy won't apply to the Southland data centre. You won't be writing the rules before the concrete is poured.
Well, unless she sits there and has a
so
bill
let's
put
stop
under
before any further concrete is poured, before this genie gets out of the bottle, because we cannot put it back in the bottle.
Fixed. You also say in the release that experience overseas, and you mentioned it as well before, has seen these projects turn local water supply to sludge. Where has that happened?
In the United States.
Whereabouts?
So we've seen plenty, off the top of my head, I mean, there's been plenty of hearings in Senate and in Congress where you've seen political representatives bringing forward water supplies, where you have seen that local people are not able to consume the fresh water that they once upon a time relied on. Well, sludge is shorthand for water that is undrinkable. So you've seen clear, fresh water.
Sludge is hyperbolic for some of the examples that we've seen in the United States, where it's cloudy or it's brown. There may or may not be sediment, but it's not sludge, is it?
Cloudy brown water that is undrinkable, I think most people would understand, is shorthand for effectively sludge. It is undrinkable water that people used to be able to rely on.
What is sludge?
And
oh my God!
I think we're kind of missing sight of the bigger point here, which is that we are currently at risk of more of these AI data centres.
Hold up, we got to define sludge before we move on with this discussion.
Wellington, we have a sludge plant. You know, so is that what?
What is the definition of sludge? I'm curious.
Yeah, because like in Wellington, we've got the sludge plant to desalinate the water out of the sewage and to leave it with a solid.
Yeah, a thick, wet and muddy substance, sewage waste or heavy, slimy layer of sediment, soft, wet dirt, mud. Yeah, it's fairly...
And it is probably the stuff that you end up taking to the tip.
Industrial residue, right there in the definition, apparently. So,
I mean, here's the other thing that could also come in there is, you know, how the basically like the chemicals themselves. Like, what do they go like? Where do they go? Yeah, it's like, you know, you can't sit there and get rid of it. I mean, you know, like the question I want to know is what are they using to cool these data centers with? Like, I've got sitting on here, if we take a look at my one, radiator coolant. Now, why can't we have this in a sealed unit with big, gigantic radiators on top of the data center with the nice southerly wind, turning it from 110 degrees down to 30 degrees before it goes back in and heats back up to 110 degrees like it does in a car.
I don't know much about radiator coolant, but I just know it looks kind of delicious. So that nice green color, it's always looked nice to me.
Being consented behind closed doors, which displaces local opportunity in terms of jobs, but also sucks down on our power grid and on our fresh water. And we think New Zealanders actually deserve to come first in this.
People are worried enough as it is without fear-mongering by using terms like sludge, right? You could just say cloudy water that people find undrinkable.
Cloudy water that people find undrinkable, I think, is relatively synonymous with sludge. But at the end of the day, what we know is that New Zealanders are concerned about this, and the fact that they can be consented on a non-notified basis is cause for concern. If we are going to move ahead with this, let's have a national level conversation about who is actually benefiting and who is going to pay the price. Because what most New Zealanders possibly don't know is that right now the investment arm of this government is currently trying to solicit $30 billion of investment for these AI data centres, which again can currently be consented behind closed doors without community input.
beyond environmental and energy concerns, the Greens in Australia, who have announced a similar policy, say they want a moratorium to get the rules right with protecting artists, creatives, journalists, copyright holders as well. Would that be covered in your policy?
We'd love to see that. There obviously needs to be a far broader conversation on artificial
the moratorium
intelligence.
won't lift until you've got those.
No, the moratorium, just to be clear, is specifically and explicitly about the physical consenting of these AI data centres. Clearly, we need to have that broader conversation. But what we've said is the first cab off the rank is no longer consenting these things behind closed doors until we're able to get the
done any research before going live?
And for anyone who is advocating for the consenting of these projects and saying, don't worry about it, guys, we're starting to see...
That is a big question. Like, what prep work did you do for this, Tova? You almost just like, I don't know, I guess I could get her on slide.
I mean, she later on has an interview with Laura McClure and sat there and said, do you support AI data centres? And Laura goes, yes, I support AI. So, I don't know, like, that's something that... So she interviews Laura McClure at a later stage in the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she definitely should have done more research.
Yeah,
water systems and renewable energy being consented and other places where they are being consented. Well, we currently don't require that. So if that is your argument, let's put those requirements in place before we move ahead.
But it won't be a matter of getting the regulatory settings right in terms of copyright stuff or even tax settings.
Why does the copyright stuff and the tax settings apply to the conversation? AI system? And yes, we very clearly do need to have that conversation.
You're bringing up copyright.
It's slightly distinct from that of the physical consents of these AI data centres, which have real-world physical impacts on our local communities.
At the moment, we're sending almost all of our data offshore, and it's not just that.
With copyright, like that wouldn't be in a resource consent.
I don't. Why is she bringing it up? What the fuck is this?
It's like it's a bit like I'm concerned about AI breaching copyright, but is it appropriate to have copyright legislation in a resource management, in a resource consent? Is that the right place to put?
If your building violates copyright, I mean, well, actually. Well, so they did have some kind of something. There was some issue, I remember, that used to be a thing. Maybe it still is actually in France with copyright actually did apply to buildings. And that's why you couldn't take photos of the Eiffel Tower at night. Because the Eiffel Tower was far enough back in time that it wasn't applied under copyright law, but the night at night it like applied to like the light fixtures, so you couldn't take a picture at night because of the light fixtures were within the copyright timeline. It was very weird, but apparently there is some weirdness around copyright and the way that applies to buildings in France. So I'm not sure if that goes into the RMA or not, but
I don't know. I mean, well,
so I guess you can have some crossover there.
They've also had so many, what do you call it, rewrites of the Constitution. It's not funny. I mean, I think they're on the fifth Constitution.
Yeah, I think we're on the Fifth Republic.
Little old New Zealand still hasn't got its first.
No. Well, I mean, that gets into the definition of what a constitution is. When you say constitution, you're meaning like a written constitution, which is actually a very new concept, even in terms of republics. It's, basically, I think the United States was the first actually to do a written constitution.
It was the first template one, yes. Yeah. Whereas, and a lot of countries followed off it. And even the Australian constitution has part formations based on the US Constitution. I mean, they call their upper house and Senate, ironically.
Yeah, no, there's written constitutions, but then there's actual constitution of the country can also be abstract, going all the way back to like classical Greece. They would have said we have a constitution. It just wasn't a written document.
It's not a written document. It's like in our one. We actually, we don't have a written constitution, but we have a bunch of acts.
Yeah, it's a binding of acts and laws. Yes, that tie together essentially. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. We digress.
Back to Tova and
creative copyright stuff. It's also government records, health records, banking, energy data, emergency services, you name it. Would you rather that was stored in Australia than here?
No.
What?
And that's the point that many are making, both domestically.
This doesn't have to do with storing data either.
I was actually in the AI space over the past week or two, who have been making the case for a national-led investment and a nationally led investment in data centres. And that's about data sovereignty, which again is slightly distinct from that of these hyperscale AI data centres.
They're doing both, which is my point earlier. So most of these hyperscale facilities are doing both. Yeah. And at the moment, you're saying local residents in Australia,
are we like maxed
they should
out?
be kind of wearing these data centres. They don't
in our
particularly
data
want either.
centres?
Oh, no, I'm not at all saying that. What I'm saying is that we have control over what happens here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and we have heard loud and clear from so many New Zealanders who are concerned about what they've seen happen in Australia, where these things have popped up next to people's homes, and also in the United States, where local water supplies have turned into cloudy, sediment-filled sludge, whatever you want to call it, which has ultimately been to the detriment of local people.
Do you use AI?
Personally, I try my best to avoid it.
Yeah, but you do?
I mean, it's kind of unavoidable, and this is, again, I guess, part of the broader concern that people have with just how much AI is being used.
If you use Google, you use AI. You use basically any search engine.
And use it. Okay, so it's just the Google prompts that would come up when you... Okay, some of the data centres in the pipeline already have power purchase agreement. Mercury's CEO has said having guaranteed customers buying a significant amount of generation.
Okay, anyone that's watched this, does this get any better? Please let us know, because I'm almost ready to veto this.
No, it feels like it's a train wreck of an interview from the presenters is the train wreck, not the guest. Good idea for speeding that up.
Yeah.
Means we continue to invest significantly in new renewable generation. Why suppress demand for investment in renewable generation?
There is no guarantee that there is going to be any megawatts of new renewable energy generation actually built off the back of this. And that's the point that we are making.
No, this can't get worse.
AI data centres are somehow supposedly going to end up with more renewable energy generation investment. Let's get those settings right first, so that is actually guaranteed for New Zealanders. And again, if I can just make the broader point, we have a government right now that has spent the last 3 years scaremongering about the fact that we are in an energy deficit, to the extent that they are now trying to advocate for $1 billion being invested in importing new fossil fuels, increasing our vulnerability and exposure. I could have that debate. But this government has told us all that we are in an energy deficit, and now they are trying to go offshore to get $30 billion of investment in these hyper-hungry AI data centres that are going to suck down on our grid, and all other things remaining equal, push up power prices for regular New Zealanders.
Okay, in your energy policy, you say that we need Kiwi Power, the state-owned entity, because to invest in renewable generation like geothermal, batteries, solar, wind, because, quote, private market has failed to fill it because high prices serve the big players. Has the private market really failed to do that?
We've seen that reflected in the Frontier report from the OECD and from the Infrastructure Commission, and actually recently.
Do you think it's the public sector that's failing us right now? Because it's almost non-existent in some capacities.
Oh, I mean, they did have Lake Onslow on the cards, but the current government tried to scrap it. You know, and that could have set dealt with some of the, electricity, could have added new renewable energy into the system. I mean, the way Tova's making it out like it's going to be Huntley coal power plant, this new mythical LNG terminal in New Plymouth.
Excuse me.
It's going to be feeding its power in reverse down the Cook Strait cable, down through the Southern Alps, all the way down to Invercargill. I mean, put it this way, what's going to get there quicker? The goodbye Port Piker, we're taking this car to Invercargill, or Mr. Coulomb running down the power line?
Excuse me, are you really going to suggest to me that in this Western capitalistic society that we live in that's like 90% private ownership, are you really going to suggest to me that that's what's failing us? It's not the 10% of public ownership? Really? Really? Come on.
From Entrust,
like, give me a fucking break.
Who are in front of Parliament Select Committee making a clear case that we have not seen the requisite investment in firming.
Transpower just reported it has 900 megawatts of new generation ready to be tested. Do you know how many homes that would power?
Off the top of my head, I mean, quick maths, do you have the answer for me?
Yeah,
We're talking hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is 1 megawatt per 1,000 households, so 900,000 households. That doesn't sound like a failure to invest in renewables.
There is a failure to invest in the firming, which I think is the most important point here. So that firming and the lack of investment in that firming is exactly what results in those kinds of peaks and troughs and effectively those spikes in power that New Zealanders experience.
So your press release talks to the need to invest in renewables like battery, solar, geothermal and wind. So do you know how many new renewable generation projects Transpower is about to plug into the grid?
Well, a lot of those are intermittent. So again, this is where we come back to the firming piece. And firming is about geothermal, it is about hydro, it is about batteries, and it's about biomass, which is on the verge of getting to the industrial scale.
Do you know how many are about to be plugged into the grid?
Off the top of my head, you tell me.
There are 17 of them. And do you want to take a guess as to what they're going to be used for?
For power generation?
Yeah, for batteries, solar, wind, geothermal. So again, it doesn't look like the market is failing, as you said in your press release.
Well, all I can point to is all of the wealth of domestic and international evidence which tells us that, in fact, that is the case. And New Zealanders experience this every single day with the eye-watering power bills that they are facing every single winter. So if we just come back to the really basic point, a market, or rather a profit-driven market, is not going to exercise its power to reduce its profits.
Also,
and that's
what
what
are
we've
those
seen since the partial
figures
privatisation.
in a vacuum really mean? Because I don't know. Are they just compensating for our gain in our increase in expected usage? Because we want to phase out as well. Is not just add more. We want to phase out the old fossil fuel.
Well, exactly. And also, I mean, we've got to sit there and possibly look at saying, do we use batteries to help take us to 100% renewable, or take us to 120% renewable, and then sit there and store it overnight? Or,
Excuse me, that's horrible math. There's no such thing as 120%. Thank you.
Well, 120% capacity. Your 100% is what you're drawing off, and you're putting in 20% more. So you need it to go elsewhere.
Also, what did that mean? Like when she says they're just about to be plugged in or whatever, that was like a very vague term as well.
It's like they're about to turn on the
it's
power
tomorrow
plant that will do the generation.
Yeah, I don't know. What timeline are we talking about here? Very vague language again. I don't know.
Put it this way, the ghost of Muldoon might rise with a big 2.0.
Of our power system under two successive National Party-led governments. So what we are saying is we are going to address that need, as has been identified by all of the research and all of the evidence about the deficiencies in our power system, so that we can also ensure not only that we lower power bills for regular New Zealanders, but that we keep industry here. Because let's not forget, we've also seen the closure of our pulp and paper power mills, and also of Heinz McCain's.
This is new generation. It's going to add 3,242 megawatts to the country's electricity supply, so powering 3.2 million homes. And you come in.
What does that mean? How much has our demand gone up?
I don't know. For them to continue investing.
Like, numbers are kind of meaningless without context.
To keep up with
That's in 3,242 megawatts, 3.2 million homes.
I think that you should put it to those power companies if they're willing to see a cut in their profits off the back of these kinds of investments, because what you'll find is that over the last
she's talking about it in terms of
particular,
homes. What about in terms of data centers? How many data centers is that going to power?
Well, how many was it? Was it Kinleaf paper pulp mills will it sit there and cover? How many toilet paper factories in Aotearoa will it cover? How many, what do you call it, Wellington airports would it run? How many, what do you call it, schools would it power? True. Why do we keep talking about homes?
I don't know. Well,
how many dairy farms?
Because it's the bigger number. That's why we're talking about it. So it seems more significant. That's basically why.
Exactly. Yeah.
That has not been the case. Over the past decade, they have in fact invested, or rather given out 2.5 times as much in dividends as they have of investing in new generation.
Have you factored in a loss of dividends for shareholders of those companies?
These things are very hard to model, as you'll be aware. But at the end of the day, let's also not forget that for those four big gentailers, that the government is also a partial owner.
Yeah, so who is the biggest awardee of those dividends? The government, right?
And that's actually...
So how much revenue could we lose from those dividends?
Well, I just think it's really important to make the point here that actually this current government's books are looking better than they were originally projected off the back of exorbitant power prices that New Zealanders are paying, which now we're also subsidising by spending hundreds of millions of dollars on the winter energy payment, because we know that those power prices are too high. We have to fix the fundamentals here, which is why we are unapologetic in investing in Kiwi power, because we have a long, proud history of collective investment in the things that matter for New Zealanders to provide actual basic
that really does go into some, I don't know, weird conflict of interest there with
and also, like, when they talk about the generation, how long is that generation good? So I've just gone online to work out what the average dairy farm in New Zealand consumes in power per annum, and that is 75 megawatt hours. Now that is over a year. How much does an AI data center use per day or per year?
I don't know how much.
I mean, let's sit there and see what how many was it?
services that all of us need for affordable
About
lives.
$500 million we get every year from dividends the government gets back into its balance sheet. Why not just extend ownership of one of those power companies that we already have a majority stake in?
If we were to buy back what has been partially sold off in the form of those gentailers, then that would cost up to billions of dollars, and it would not create any new generation assets. What we're doing with Kiwi Power is solving that immediate issue of firming, which again has been identified by the OECD, by the Frontier Report and by the Infrastructure Commission as the major barrier to sustainable, affordable power in this country and our economic resilience.
Okay, just quickly on solar before we move on to tax.
Before we move on to solar, I do have a figure. The amount of hours a data centre would use per annum is the equivalent of 400,000 megawatt hours compared to a dairy farm that would use 75 megawatt hours of electricity per year.
Oh my goodness.
So we now have a comparison that a data centre, what do you call it, a data centre's power usage,
It's like 4 dairy farms?
5,333 dairy farms in New Zealand.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
That's how much power or one data centre that is being proposed here would power in electricity usage. It would power 5,000 dairy farms. Now, I can tell you right now, I don't think we have 5,000 dairy farms in New Zealand.
Well, I guess we know why she's putting it into context of households.
Oh, hey, we've got another thing, dairy farms.
Won't anyone think about the dairy farms next?
Does an AI power centre do compared to what pollution that a dairy farm does?
Yeah, but which one does more water pollution? Is it the nitrate pollution or the sludge pollution? You tell me.
Oh, yeah, now that's a great point. Actually, yeah, how much, yeah.
Let's not figure that out.
How much which one pollutes worse, an AI data centre or a dairy farm?
Is nitrate water really sludge?
Be able to access zero interest loans to buy plug-in solar?
The zero interest loans are for homeowners, which obviously is through the ratepayer assistance.
So renters can't get them. How much does plug-in solar cost?
A few $1,000s.
Okay, and so it could save $350 a year. Who is paying that few $1,000s that will take years and years and years to recoup?
It's those who are purchasing the solar
renters,
panels.
Okay.
But
how many renters do you know that have a spare few $1,000s?
Well, really good point, Tova. This is why green policy is also focused on lowering the cost of living across the board. It's also why.
But why are you giving a sub?
But okay, so for example, this just couldn't be done where I'm. I don't know about other situations. I couldn't put any solar, even the ones that go over the balcony. I couldn't put those solar panels because it would go completely against the body corp. I would not be able to do that where I'm renting. So
interesting you bring that up because when I was living in Owen Street, that was the same thing from our landlords. They couldn't put solar panels on the roof because the body corp said no.
Yeah. So it really, I mean, honestly, maybe we just need to talk about body corps. Let's get rid of body corps. Fuck those things.
No. We stop body corps from being unreasonable dicks.
Oh, they are assholes.
So there's a reason why you have a body corp. The body corp is when you've got a collective of buildings in an ownership and it's deal with collective maintenance.
Yeah.
There are reasons why you need a body corp, but you also need to have provisions in place when a body corp has a bunch of Karens on there and being dicks.
Unrestricted rules.
They need to sit down there and actually be told, hey, pull your head in. You're actually being unrealistic. I mean, we already had... We used to have that for installing fibre into houses until there was a 2018 law change. So prior to 2018, if your landlord could sit there and go, no, I don't think you should have fibre, so I'm going to decline it. And they were in their legal right to do so. Now they've been told that's been unrealistic. And like my friend Keith, who's a property manager, he was shocked that was in the legislation. He was shocked when he saw that provision because he was like, what the flaming hell?
Well,
he never rejected that to any of his
you also would have just had so many people just going, well, I don't want this place because it doesn't have fibre, and people wouldn't have been taking rentals because of it.
Well, I'm trying to think, 2 houses I lived at, as a result of me moving in, had fibre installed. So both the house I lived in Kingston and the house I lived in Kandala had fibre installed as a result of me moving in because both properties at the time didn't have fibre.
All right. Is it worth finishing this, you think?
No.
Let's move on.
If you want to finish it, go to TVNZ Plus and watch it there.
I mean, we can quickly check.
watch it on YouTube.
Let's hear what the PM has to say about this shit. Whenever he starts talking. Maybe not.
Please
try that again.
The Prime Minister will start speaking soon.
I'll refresh it.
Thank you for holding. The Prime Minister will start speaking soon. You're number one to sit there and listen to it. And everyone.
The data centres, what's wrong with a year to get some rules in place? You've talked about the need for additionality into our energy system and having good conversations about the use of water. Those safeguards aren't in place, though, currently, and this data centre is coming.
Yeah, well, I'll just say New Zealand is last cab off the rank. I mean, it's in its classic green, sort of wanting to turn off investors and investment from overseas before it's even arrived.
No, they're asking for a pause to get some ground rules in place.
Yeah, for sure. But that's, and that's, but just take a step back. I mean, we've got maybe 3 data centres that are expected to connect in the next year. The officials don't expect any of those projects to put upward pressure on electricity prices.
Really? Can you guarantee that? This won't. We've got the second biggest electricity user in the country, and it won't put any pressure on.
Well, I'm just saying to you what's coming up in the next 12 months. We've got 3 data centres. I'm just saying to you, putting a broad blanket moratorium out there turns off a lot of investment before it's even arrived in New Zealand. We've got projects that are building and interest that is building, and New Zealand data centres can be a net positive for the economy. They will create jobs, will create opportunities for us.
It's all about the economy, isn't it?
It does mean things like making sure additional electricity generation.
The only thing you ever give a fucking shit about
is for transmission upgrades and those kinds of things.
But we're paying for transmission upgrades. The consumer is at the moment. That's going to be part of our bill.
Yeah, but Ingrid, at the moment there isn't large-scale data centre investment and construction happening in this country. It's
about to happen.
Coming. Well, yes, okay, but you want to kill something before it's even started and it actually even arrived here. So I'm just saying to you, we've got some sensible rules that we're actually getting officials preparing advice on. I've given you an outline of what those sort of component parts would be. But New Zealand has a significant opportunity, and we're going to need to, because we don't want to get left behind. But equally, we should do so with very sensible, common sense rules.
What does that mean, we're getting left behind? You think we're going to run out of data centers that we need? You think that data centers are going to get built around the world and suddenly people are going to be like, well, that's it, we don't need any more after a year?
People who probably doesn't understand, you can buy, things can expand.
No, because we know capitalism isn't about eternal expansion and growth or anything like that. It's actually just going to cap out within the next year. We all know data center building is going to cap out. After that, no one needs more data centers. That's it. We'll miss the train.
It's going to keep going because the amount of data, we consume and all that sort of thing. Do you remember getting a 30 gigabyte internet plan? And now, I go and up and download a terabyte. It probably goes through our internet connection a month with the stuff I do. And you're probably in the same boat.
Yeah. Well, it's also what the fuck is this? It's like he's thinking about it in a long-term plan. We're going to become the key place to build data centers or something. That's sort of what he's suggesting. We want to be, we want to be on ground zero so we can be the hub of data centers or some shit. That's just.
Well, that would be great with the hub of data centers. I'm principally for it, but I want the environmental concerns dealt with. We cannot just sit down there and do it. Have a toilet with it where you sit there and flush it and squirts out on the road. We don't want that type of thing there, or it's something there. Now, this is something that's a bit beyond our time.
I don't even think I'm principally for it, but,
Yeah, but my mum told me this. When she was a kid, when you flushed the toilet on the train, it went on the tracks. It did not, this was the overnight express. If you flush the toilet, this is the steam train days.
Okay.
It went on the tracks. It didn't sit there and get put into a storage tank and then put into the storage system at Wellington or Auckland when it got there. It just went on the tracks.
Now we
don't do that anymore.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Now,
also,
we
no
want
one
to make
rides
sure that
trains,
our
so
garden
that's probably why.
aren't doing what we used to do on the steam trains in the 1950s and 60s.
Anyway, that's enough talking about shit and data centers and sludge. So let's get into National's announcement that they made. I think on Sunday it was that they've. It looks like damage control by the looks of it. They've pledged to extend parental leave to 30 weeks, which is about a month.
Do you remember when Sue Moroney's bill went to expand paid parental leave from 13 to 26 weeks, and Bill English used his financial veto on it.
Actually, I think that is brought up. You know what? Let's just jump to it.
Yeah.
Well, the again, going back to the Prime Minister's interview, he was interviewed today, and this was actually brought up directly. So let's hear his thoughts on it, shall we?
We're going to talk about maternity leave, paternity leave. National is promising to extend paid parental leave from 26 to 30 weeks by 2029 if it is back in government after the election. Now, the party's finance spokesperson, Nicola Willis, says the changes will also allow more flexibility over how that leave is used, including both parents taking leave at the same time. Emma McLean heads up Works for Everyone. That's a consultancy firm working with employers and with parents navigating parenthood, and she joins us now in the Auckland studio. Kia ora, good morning.
Morena.
So the expansion from 26 to 30 weeks, is that a meaningful improvement, do you think?
Look, I think
this is the wrong one.
What specific problem we're trying to solve with this. I think more parental leave, more time to be able to provide care for your baby is...
I started playing the wrong one, but I think we'll listen to this one anyway. This is not the Prime Minister.
Amazing. I think the KiwiSaver contribution, which they announced earlier, is very well received, and the annual leave, tidying up that anomaly is a great idea. I don't think it's going to smash, kind of any penalties that much that mothers are facing. The flexibility and the ability to share that leave between two parents, if you are parenting with someone else, is a really good intent, and I really celebrate that. But I wonder how it will work in practice. We know globally there are some countries that have tried to share parental leave. UK has tried it, and it was really hard to get uptake by secondary carers or dads. And so again, it depends what problem you're trying to solve. If you're trying to share caregiving as a family, I'm not sure that's going to shift the needle.
Okay, yeah, and that's the bit I think I just wanted to
and
focus
also,
on.
like, the other thing is, what about paternity leave? There is a provision under the Act that you can transfer your maternity leave to the father.
Okay.
But there is no paid paternity leave for men in the country to bond with their newborns. There is no such system that exists. Like, the mother has to transfer it to the father in order for both to be paid. Now, why can't we, which party is going to talk about paternity leave, as well as maternity leave? Both are very important fundamental.
Do you know if that works equally for gay marriage?
I don't know. We'd have to ask Company Coffee that one, because that actually gets quite interesting. Technically, the mother, the surrogate who delivered the children, can transfer the maternity leave to the father, so that technically can be done. So the law does allow a mother to transfer maternity leave to the father of the child.
But which one? What if it's a gay couple getting a surrogacy? Does it go to both the fathers? That probably would be the way it would legally work. Okay. So it probably is already there under the current law in some weird voodoo way. Yeah.
But, at which point does it kick in? Because the adoption of the kid from a surrogate isn't immediate. It takes a bit of time. And does it kick in when the adoption finalises? The one I would like to know is, how did Tamani Coffee and his husband's adoption actually ins and outs all worked? Because that would be the interesting part in there. Because I do know for the first child, Tim, his partner, was the biological father for that particular pregnancy.
Well, Tane got our back here, by the looks of it. You apply someone to be the primary caregiver, so they get the mother's rights in that case.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, so that's probably how it would be. And actually, something also worth noting, Kerry Allen's, daughter is Tamani Coffee's the biological father.
Oh, okay.
That's something that has gone in there. So that's something that has been put on there, that he helped her become a parent when she was with one particular person when she first entered Parliament.
But I just wanted to highlight there what she was basically saying about around globally. What we've seen essentially is the evidence points that it just doesn't work, essentially, which is classic for this fucking government.
I think has 12 months paid parental leave.
Yeah. I don't know much about the UK's parental leave, honestly.
No. That was when Sue Moroney's bill went through Parliament.
Okay. I don't know what that even means. But okay. What I was saying, I don't know what my point was. We'll continue on. Let's listen to the Prime Minister this time.
Yeah.
Whenever it starts. We've been very clear.
We're joined by the Prime Minister, Christopher Luxon. Kia ora, good morning.
Hi, Ingrid. How are you?
Very well, thanks. I might just get your thoughts on that idea. What do you think of the idea of putting more of the health budget into medicines?
Well, I mean, in the last 2 years, we've been really committed to giving more access to life-changing medicines. If you think about that $604 million investment in our first budget, which was a very big
broke
investment,
an election promise.
The largest funding boost in history in New Zealand. You know, that led to 66 new medicines.
So you're going to fund cancer drugs, and you're like,
helping 250,000 New Zealanders. So
public
we
pressure.
know Pharmac's budget's at the highest it's ever been, but we know there's a lot more to do as well. So, you know, National as a party will have more to say about that as we get to our health election policy.
Okay, something you have announced is a move on paid parental leave. Why paid parental leave and why now?
Well, it's just no better way to literally build the future than building stronger families and supporting working mums and dads and the work that they do. And, you know, we know all that research. We've talked about it for years.
This definitely isn't damage control.
For attachment and foundations of language and all that good stuff. But it's also an expensive time. So finding a way to extend paid parental leave to give more flexibility so that, you know, partners can take it at the same time and also then do the KiwiSaver default contributions, I think, is us, you know, making sure as a party that we believe in families and strong families. We want to make sure we continue to do that work.
If it's so important, why has National vetoed it in the past?
In what way? Sorry?
Have you not vetoed it, Bill English?
I'm sorry, I only came to politics in 2020, Ingrid. I don't know what happened in the past.
That wasn't me.
I'm focused on the future, and this is a really important policy for me and for our caucus and for our party. And we think it's a really good thing for working mums and dads up and down the country.
All right, we'll pause just there for now. So what's your understanding of that bill and what went down there with under Bill English? Because I don't recall
Okay,
it specifically.
so the night before the vote took place, Aotearoa Flavel had to leave the house to attend become a grandparent because can't remember his son or daughter. I think it was daughter. Was given birth, and National tried to scupper it to have the bill go to lose vote of 61-59 because or something they tried to fail it and then it went to properly to be have its vote corrected the following day because on that particular government it was a 61-60 majority. So it was a one-vote majority, and Peter Dunn, that one vote, voted for paid parental leave. And then as soon as it sat there and passed third reading, Bill English moved the motion to use the financial veto, which I think might have been the first time it was used since the Finance Minister has been able to use the veto since the introduction of MMP. Now, Gary's in the chat. He might remember it because he would have been around when that happened. But yeah, it was quite big at the time when the fact that it was National vetoed it, and then the following year at the election they campaigned for 18 weeks paid parental leave. I mean, now here's something worth noting: in the UK, they get a male gets paid 2 weeks paid parental leave in addition to the female, or the father gets paid statutorily 2 weeks paid parental leave in addition to the mother's paid parental leave, which is up to 39 weeks that can be taken over a 50-week period.
Shit, so yeah, they do way better.
So, put it this way, we are behind the 8 ball here in New Zealand.
Yeah, so
the UK have paternity leave.
So even if we go ahead and add the 30, we're still 9 months behind.
We're at 26 weeks now because the Labour government...
Yeah, but if they go through and get National does, we're still 9 months behind if you consider everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's after 10 years of them being in a shitty austerity fucking government situation in the UK.
Why can't they introduce paternity leave? To me, that's a fundamental right of a father.
Nah, no. There's never been issues in the past with kids who haven't had their dad around. What are you talking about? That's never been a thing.
You know, like I mean, you know, like we're out of the dark ages now. It's quite common. You know, we need to sit there and like look at that. You know, like why are we discussing? You know, what you know, who's the party who's going to bring in paid paternity leave as well as extending paid maternity leave? I mean, put it this way, we can thank Lila Hare from the Alliance Party for bringing it in during the Helen Clark's first term in government. So Lila Hare was the Minister for Women that brought in maternity leave for 13 weeks.
Bring back Alliance. Everyone vote Alliance. Or vote Green.
I think just finding a way to get the extension out to 30 weeks, making sure that parents can take it at the same time, that's all common sense stuff.
Your critics and coalition partners have questioned the timing, though. Given that history, you've got an announcement right after the Nash and Nimmin controversy. You haven't pursued it in government. I'd just say, look at, the values of the National Party about supporting and building stronger families. It's a very core part of the party.
She's just saying, look at the history. Look at your history. It disagrees with your values.
The PPL contributions announced then higher contributions. Though, this is completely consistent with that, and it's been on our radar. It's been planned for ages. I couldn't have predicted Stuart Nash's comments, frankly, although maybe we could have. Is it about getting more young women to vote for you? In the polls, it suggests that you're out polling as well with women. Oh, Ingrid, it's such a cynical perspective on a Monday morning. It's actually about making sure we support working mums and dads across this country who are doing an awesome job raising their kids, and we want to give them more flexibility so they've got more choice about how they spend that time at home with their new baby. It's a really important time. So, there's nothing more complicated than that. We're doing it in a way that's, affordable. It's a gradual increase over from 26 to 30 weeks. We'd love to get ultimately to 40 weeks. Of course, we need to be in surplus in subsequent years beyond that. But I think this is a really good ambition and a really good policy that actually will make a big difference to people. And if they want it, they've got to party vote National. You'll be surprised how cynical I can be at any time of the day, honestly.
Me too. Yeah, we'll end it there. I'm offended. Someone said I looked like a leftist. No, I'm not kidding. It's a big compliment. I love you, Martin Chode in your name. Jesus. Okay.
Totally.
Look, these look like stoners. I could hang with I could hang with you too, mate. You know what? You ain't too bad. I like you. Stick around.
They look like stoners.
Yeah, hell yeah. Come around to my place.
It's going to come back clean.
Oh, I mean, that wouldn't make two of us, so. All right.
There are other things that you'll find in there that are literally legal before you find out.
I don't know what you're implying there, but let's move on from that fucking situation. All right. We'll skip the One News article on this because it pretty much just reiterates what we're talking about. However, it does talk about, I think, the situation that just happened with when
Stuart opened his mouth.
Yeah, exactly. That something this partly might be damage control. Not just that. It does make sense from this is the National Party's base is family, young families essentially. That's what they're...
exactly. And I mean, good on Katie for actually doing that. Whether you love National or hate National, good on Katie for taking, maternity leave to sit there and do that. And actually, she didn't actually take that long. She was back in doing her electoral work 14 weeks afterwards. And during the maternity leave, she went and sat there and did the announcement with the Hawke's Bay Expressway with Catherine Webb, the MP for Tuki and Chris Bishop.
Mm.
She wasn't exactly missing in action as the way that... Shall we say, the shameful grandson of Walter Nash, Stuart.
He was,
and for those who are wondering, Walter Nash was the Prime Minister of New Zealand from 1957 to 1960.
All right. But just on that, playing to the base, because this was just announced today as well, that they're going to be doing a fuel support, or they're considering, I think, fuel support for families.
The price of petrol's gone up 20 cents in the last week. So is the price of diesel. I mean, diesel's nearly $3 a litre.
Because the Prime Minister's bet that the Strait of Hormuz and that faith in Trump that he would be able to end it somehow didn't quite work out, and they're in a bit of a pickle now up until the election with probably endless rising...
Air Force Pick 1 is more likely to sit there and land, than Trump sits there and changes his mind. Put it this way. I'm certain the Strait of Hormuz will be open after the 20th of January 2029.
Oh, okay. Shit.
And that's because Trump will no longer be president.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
Will he?
You know, like, come on. That's the date I think it will be open.
I was told that he's gonna steal the election. I just don't even think he's fucking not gonna be fucking
Well,
alive. Let's be real.
constitutionally, he can't stand for a third term.
There won't be a constitution. Everyone knows.
The Supreme Court would sit there and do the United States.
Sam, you were there at the last election, at the 2024 election, and everyone knows that if Trump won that was the last election America was ever going to have. So that's it.
That's true.
Yeah, as we know, there will be no more American elections.
But you never know, they might have North Korea sham elections soon because the Constitution mandates elections.
Or did everyone lie to me?
The Constitution mandates the election date in it.
I'll have you know when Hitler got in charge.
Reality.
Sorry, I'm not going to...
like on the first Tuesday after the first Monday of the month of November, why can't it be a frickin' Saturday? Why can't they have a 2-week advance polling period? I mean, hey, at least the New Zealand government has somehow managed to do that.
Anyway, so yeah, this is playing to their base, I guess, but I think it is short-sighted, I think, for many people, there's not that many young families, I don't think, in terms of making up the whole entire population base. There can't be that many, can there?
Well, and also, put it at the same time, if you're collecting the unemployment benefit or any of the benefits, you're not going to get it.
No, exactly. Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, so, if you're on sole parent support benefit, you're not collecting it. If you're on if you're a couple on job seekers or supported living payment, you're not getting it.
Yeah.
If you're a pensioner, you're not getting it.
Yeah.
If you're looking after grandchildren, you're not getting it.
Yeah, and this kind of weird, I'm not saying don't support families, absolutely, it's these are good policy. Extend parental leave, for example, do that.
Yeah.
But, when your policies are weighted so much towards families, what does it make the fucking rest of the country who don't have families feel like? The people who don't have children?
Well, yeah, but also, it's weighted to a working family.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not weighted to a family. It's weighted to a family that is working. It's put it this way, if they brought in half-price public transport, or if they really wanted to be bold, but we would have a capacity issue, free public transport, that would do a damn sight much more better for the country, and it's a lot cheaper, and it will benefit a lot more people than a $50 a week to a select few in a lottery that manages to sit down there and get things in the right hit in the right place at the right time.
But I think there's a quote that I think Pat plays constantly on BHN where Luxon says this is going to be, it was like in his inaugural speech where he said this will be a New Zealand for all Kiwis or something, a government for all New Zealanders, where it's well, apparently not for single young bachelors like me living alone in their apartment. I don't get it really any benefits by the look of it. You don't seem to focus really any policies on me, so why the fuck should I give about you if you apparently don't care about me? Why should I vote for you, Chris Luxon? What are you doing for me?
I've got one, at least I've got one thing on my side, is the fact my income is so low I still have a community services card, so I at least get the cheap doctor's visits and the free prescriptions. But that is if we talk about the rest of my flatmates in the property, that's a different story. Yeah. One of them's in the top tax bracket because she's a nurse.
Yeah.
It's just like what it is. I'm glad I paid $25 to see my GP, not what's it called, $100. Considering that's the goal. I think it's not far off 100. If I didn't have the community services card to go to the GP practice I go to, and that is quite across the board in Wellington.
All right. Do we have much more to say on this, or do you want to move on to? I guess we can give you a chance if you wanted to talk about anything specifically before we move on to some more fun stuff.
On the calendar.
Just anything. If you had anything you wanted to bring up, otherwise we can move on to some more.
Let's move on to some more news.
Okay. Well, we technically do have one more thing of news that I just thought was a bit funny. This one that was going on, which I guess people aren't laughing at, But look, I guess
they got outside the sandbox.
Yeah. Okay. Let's watch this. Let's watch this.
Let's watch this. Yeah.
The company OpenAI admitting one of its AI models went rogue, acting on its own and hacking another tech company. One of two major developments raising fresh questions about the risk posed by artificial intelligence and whether it can be trusted, as Al Sarafin explains.
For years, the big question has been about what AI can do. Now, the focus is turning to what can happen when it does the unexpected, after OpenAI revealed one of its most advanced agents broke out of a controlled testing environment during a safety test. The system was being assessed for its cyber capabilities when it breached its digital sandbox, accessed the internet, and attacked another AI company.
This whole situation begs the question of, should you even be building a system, an AI with advanced cyber capabilities, if you can't actually contain it properly?
We should build those data centers,
says
though.
Following the incident, it's strengthening its safeguards. But it's reignited a much bigger debate about whether companies
we got it sorted this time,
are outpacing
guys.
rules
They won't get out
to
again.
Keep it in check.
There needs to be a lot more scrutiny of these companies and their ability to monitor these systems.
And safety isn't the only battlefront. AI companies also facing questions over how systems are trained. The makers of Claude chatbot Anthropic agreeing to pay the equivalent of more than $2.5 billion New Zealand dollars, the deal compensating thousands of authors and publishers, including those of Harry Potter, who argued the books were used without permission to teach AI models.
This is the first time that an AI company has been deemed responsible
with JK,
for the taking of unauthorized copyright content. And we hope that it does set a precedent.
Interestingly, the case drew
I won't wait for her.
The judge ruled that training AI on copyrighted works could still be fair use, but it was the way the books were obtained through pirated libraries that led to the payout.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of work to be done to ensure that in the future AI companies are asking for permission, not forgiveness.
Wait, so how did that work? Hold up. Well, there was so much so quick. So did the AI pirate it, or did the company pirate it? The companies? What the fuck? And I love that last bit too. Like, also these companies are gonna more likely to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. I mean, that's like the history of capitalism, isn't it? Just oops, we fucked everything up. We're sorry.
Please forgive me again.
Yeah, it's the BP spillage meme from South Park. We're sorry. We're sorry. It's like, well, every time shit like this happens, it's like, guys, we've learned from this. We've got more safeguards. Things are gonna be good. We promise not another fuck up's gonna happen. I guess at the end of the day, all this, like, I am sort of wondering a lot about this claim, whether or not any of this actually happened. Like, I don't know. Because we were just sort of taking their word for it. It seems like they're telling us, and I wonder how much of this is manufactured hype from the data companies themselves.
I wonder if it got out of the sandbox that was in a sandbox.
True.
You technically do that.
Yeah, you can. I work with sandboxes, not with AI, but like in general, I work with sandboxes in my job.
Yeah. Now, here's something that actually does make me sit there and think of this. Now, I'm not sure if you're a Doctor Who fan.
I mean, I am, but not. I haven't watched many of the classics. Well, no, I've watched Tom Baker, but not. I think this is the second Doctor. I think.
Yeah, this is the second Doctor.
Yeah.
Now, having talked about this in the 1950s.
What the fuck is happening here? What is
defeating the great intelligence.
Soon your mind will be absorbed by the great intelligence.
Huh.
You should be very proud, Doctor. Your knowledge of the past will help to shape the future of
Why did you sit in there?
Just get on with it, please. You seem very anxious suddenly. I just want it over and done with.
You're stealing his brain. Of course he's anxious.
Submission is essential. You must understand, Doctor, that without your complete cooperation, this transference would be of no value. Should you offer any opposition, either physical or mental, I shall be forced to punish you, or rather your friends.
Oh, no, don't get the friends involved.
For a great darkness to cloud your mind.
Attack now! Attack the Yeti!
No, stop it!
Wait, what?
What? Whoa, slow down. This escalated escalated so quickly, guys. Just out of nowhere. Attack the fucking Yeti.
How, Doctor Who was highlighting this as a problem in the 1960s.
I mean, I'm more concerned about the Yetis just out of nowhere. They just went into complete hysteria. Just kill the Yetis! Kill them! What the fuck just happened? Oh my goodness. Oh, that was great. Why did the doctor sit in there? Just don't sit in there and they can't steal your brain. Just leave. I don't know. Anyway. Sorry.
But literally, it's mentioning about the fact that it's like scraping up data. I mean, Doctor Who is scraping up memories from your brain. I mean, isn't that what AI does? I mean, at the moment, it's scraping up data that it can sit there and find in the public resource. I mean, what's going to be next? It's going to sit down there and read your mind?
Yeah, it's true. Those Yetis were threatening them. They were very threatening-looking Yetis. He was in attack mode.
When you sit down there and look at some of the stuff, how things went with how even Doctor Who managed to talk about that at the time. But I thought they had to be brought up with the Great Intelligence.
Yeah, but
which only was the next time the Great Intelligence came up was when Matt Smith was the Doctor and Richard E. Grant was one of the voices of the Great Intelligence.
Oh, that's pretty cool. He's a great Shakespearean voice.
Oh yeah.
Very smooth. But yeah, look, I just speculate how much of this is legitimate and just being hyped up a bit, out of how bad it actually is, just to try and get the stock up. To say, hey, this is how smart we've gotten. I guess to transition away from the news now, guys, get into some more fun. Let's go to something that I've been wanting to get into for a while, which is this is what I think of when I think of how people talking about how smart AI has gotten. I think of this guy, which he's got a few shorts, which we're just gonna watch for fun. Let's look at the genius of AI and how smart it's gotten.
I'm gonna go 100 yards away, and you let me know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, absolutely. Just go ahead and walk that distance, and I'll let you know if I can still pick you up.
Okay, now I'm 100 yards away now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you pretty well. There's a slight drop in clarity, but I can understand you just fine.
Okay, now I'm gonna go 200 yards, and you let me know if you can hear me.
Of course. Go ahead and walk that distance. I'll keep an ear out, and once you stop.
Now I'm 200 yards away. How do I sound?
So it's a bit harder to hear you now. The sound is more muffled, and I'm catching maybe just every other word. Okay. If you can, maybe step a bit closer or speak a little louder, and I'll do my best to keep up.
Okay, I'm taking one step closer from 200 yards. Let me know if it helps.
Yeah, that's a lot clearer. I can definitely hear you now, almost like you were closer to when you were at 100 yards. So this is good. I think I've got you.
Okay, but just a test, I'm gonna go 1 mile away. Let me know if you can still hear me.
All right, that's a big jump. I'll keep listening carefully, but...
Okay, I'm a mile away. Can you hear what I'm saying?
I'm having a pretty hard time now. The sound is really faint, and I'm only catching bits. If you step closer or shout a bit...
Okay, I'm taking one step closer from a mile. Does that help clear it up?
Yeah, that does help a lot. I can hear you much better now. Still a little distant, but
What am I saying?
Yeah, so you said you were taking a step closer from a mile, and I can tell you're asking if it helped with
So you can hear me from a mile away?
I can hear you, but it's really faint and kind of patchy at that distance. If you keep moving closer, I think the signal will get even better.
AI hasn't actually sat there and said, you got to that mile very quickly.
Exactly.
The AI cannot sit down there and give a cheeky jab such that, well, are you sure you're telling me the truth?
I mean, look, man, this thing's gonna take over the world in 2 years. It's gonna conquer everything. Don't you know?
Yeah.
Let's watch another one.
I just turned on this really ugly face morphing filter. It's pretty funny, right?
Yeah, I can see it. It's definitely a bit wild. The proportions are all over the place. But yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
Like what? What looks so ugly?
Yeah, so your forehead looks really stretched out, and your chin kind of gets wide and narrow at the same time. It's like a total mismatch.
And it's ugly?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of unsettling, but in a funny way. I think it just exaggerates all your features so much that it looks super off.
Oh, I actually forgot to even turn it on, so...
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, it might just be the lighting or something, but honestly, it still looks pretty odd even without it.
What?
If you want, you can try turning it on again or just skip it.
No, this is just how I look.
Ah, I see. Well, you still look totally fine. It's just maybe the angle or some lighting that's a bit off. But yeah, no worries at all.
You said I looked ugly.
Oh, no. I didn't mean it like that at all.
You said those words. You said yes when I asked.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, he's ugly in a fun way.
It's so funny just watching that live.
I mean, to be fair, maybe AI will replace like roasting comedians, doing the whole roast thing. That wasn't a bad roast, to be real. All right, we'll watch one more of these. Then we'll move on.
Before I tell it about my emergency, I'm just gonna cover its cameras up with this sock. It's all I could find. And it kind of looks like a little hat. Okay, ready? Oh my god, I jumped out of an airplane and forgot my parachute.
Oh wow, that would be quite a situation. I'm guessing you're just joking around.
No, I'm not.
Ooh, glad to hear that. For a second there, I was imagining some kind of action movie scenario.
No, I said I'm not.
Oh, I see what you mean now. You're saying it's not a joke. My apologies for the mix-up. I'm here if you just want to talk about anything
Hurry up,
else.
man. He's blowing out the sky.
I want to talk about the plane I'm falling out of.
Oh, gosh. Well, I'll roll with the scenario.
Please, it's real.
Oh, I understand you're saying it's real. I'm not actually able to physically help you in that kind of situation, but we're just chatting through a scenario. I'm here with you. Let's just say...
well, you could at least give some advice.
Yeah, that'd probably be helpful.
Absolutely. If we're imagining this, my advice is keep calm, spread your arms, and imagine that a parachute magically appears. Sometimes a little imagination is all we need.
They'll do it.
I'm about to hit the ground.
Well, in that case, let's imagine that you find a giant trampoline or a nice fluffy cloud waiting to catch you. Sometimes it's all about turning the free fall into a bit of a fun landing in our mind.
Okay, well, there you go. Sometimes you just gotta think of things, think of everything on the bright side, like maybe your life will get a bit better.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what we can do next, we can either do some, what do you want to do? Just a few more videos, or we can...
Yeah, let's do a few more, yeah.
Well, we can either do some, just a couple of fun videos, or do you want to watch... This one's risky, but do you want to watch a couple of politic videos?
Let's give it a try.
Yeah, all right. Let's watch a couple of politic videos.
Am I a little bit looser than Magenta?
Let's just go. Let's do this. All right. I got some lined up here.
You can sit down there and get the X-rated stuff out because...
No, there's no X-rated stuff. I'm picking a couple. I got a few here, so let's watch a couple of his. All right. Oh, this one's juicy. The US system is superior.
The American political system is admirable in many respects. It is as tyranny-proof as is reasonably possible. Power is not concentrated.
Wait, what?
It is highly distributed. There is a separation of powers. There are extensive checks and balances.
Oh, no, okay, already. This is, so fucking dumb. In writing, yes, but in practice, this is just completely bizarre to even say, okay, it's spread across multiple, the separation of, types of government, I guess he's sort of getting into.
The American system is quite devolved compared to the New Zealand government system. That is true, because, if you in the United States, you've got a, what's it called? A federal executive, you've got a federal legislature split into two houses called the Senate and the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
You did also at the state level, you'd have the governor and his executive team. You've got a state legislature. In most states, they have an upper house and a lower house, except for one of them, which actually is unicameral, ironically. And often over there, you also have local county or district council sort of things as well. So, you're probably looking at probably about 6 layers of government they have over in the United States. And 6 layers of what you vote for.
That's completely stopped all the tyranny, hasn't it? There's no tyranny in the United States. There's no issues over there with big egos or anything like that.
Yeah.
Is there? I mean, what he's talking about is like, what's on sort of formatically written in paper versus actual practice, which is just, it's not the case. Okay, let's keep going, I guess.
Yeah.
The presidency, the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, state governments, masses of lower courts. Many conflicting bodies hold power. Antagonism is built into the system to keep each branch in line.
Look at what Trump's been able to do. He's been able to completely go around Congress and just declare war on his own, despite the rules that completely contradict that he's even allowed to do it. It doesn't matter, because the army just follows him anyway. He says go, and they fucking follow. So, like, basically, it doesn't matter what it says. In practice, it just doesn't work.
Then you have the Constitution, a supreme and entrenched document that establishes the rights of the people and limits the power of the state. The American system is very resilient. The trade-off is that this makes the system inefficient. It takes a very long time to achieve major change in the USA. But that is also a good thing.
No, you can do it pretty quickly.
Trump has done damage, huge damage. But in most other countries, Trump would have done infinitely more damage. Trump has been president for over 5 years. He has tried to totally dominate the government, but his dictatorial authoritarian ambitions have not been realized. He has undermined democracy. He has attacked freedom.
He's literally got like the fucking not even Gestapo. It's more like the SA, I suppose. Like
the SA disguised as ICE.
Yeah. Well, it's like a cross between both, because the SA were like violent thugs in the street. They didn't come to your house and arrest you. The ICE does that too. So it's like the perfect mesh between the SA and the Gestapo, I guess. Yeah.
Freedom, but he is far from total victory. If such a figure was to come to power in New Zealand, democracy would not last a week. There are no serious checks and balances. There is no separation of powers.
Hold up.
Parliament is supreme.
No.
Yeah, this is bad.
Actually correct.
No.
Our executive comes from the legislature, but our judiciary doesn't. And the other thing is in New Zealand is we give lifetime appointments to, like the United States, to many of our critical jobs, such as judges, the ombudsman, and all of that anyway. I mean, so they're politically neutral. I mean, and put it this way, would you even know who the Chief Justice of the New Zealand Supreme Court is?
No.
But you know who the US Chief Justice is?
Well, me personally? No, I don't think I do.
Oh, okay, John Roberts. The New Zealand Chief Justice is Helen Winkleman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the second chick in the job.
Yeah, that's cool. And again, same thing with Governor General as well. Again, they sign off on every bit of legislation. Technically, if the Governor General, I think, doesn't sign off on something, it technically can't go through in law, I don't believe.
Yes, but they actually have to check to make sure it's actually gone through Parliament properly.
Yeah.
We've not ever had it happen in New Zealand, but it has happened in Canada where they skipped the reading. And so the Governor General had to actually veto the bill to send it back to the House for it to go through to complete its legislative process. And then the bill, when it completed its legislative process, it got signed into law. But that actually has happened where there's been a veto because they didn't do the job properly.
Yeah, and I'm assuming he's just completely misunderstanding the way like the prime ministership works too. So let's give him a chance to finish. Let's hear him out.
Yes, let's hear him out.
They have total power. The government dominates Parliament. There is no separate executive branch. There is no separate legislative house. The judiciary has no power. There is no supreme and entrenched constitution. The government is subject to...
Okay, again, that goes into our discussion around constitutions. Just because we don't have a written constitution doesn't mean we don't have like a constitution that needs to be abided by. So
we also have entrenchment clauses in our laws.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to changing voting systems, you either need to do it by public referendum or 75% of the House.
Mm-hmm.
So we do actually have entrenchment clauses in our full constitutional parts. Like lowering the age to 16 to vote in a general election needs either to be passed by a referendum or 75% in the House.
He's also assuming like the government would be fully in control, like as in that party would have majority, like it'd be like the last Labour government where they got 50+%. Essentially, they didn't need coalition, which in that case, maybe you kind of got some kind of excuse there, but no, if it's a typical coalition, all it takes is one of the partners to be like, no, fuck this, and call, challenge leadership, call no confidence, call for a snap.
I mean, that happened in 1990, was it 8, with, at first there was an attempt to roll Winston Peters, which failed, and then the next one was Jenny Shipley sacking Winston Peters.
Yep. And that's when he...
So, So, I mean, that has been attempted, and when Winston Peters was sacked as Deputy Prime Minister...
he tried to take some of the cabinet with him, didn't he?
Yeah, he pulled out of Parliament. He pulled New Zealand First out of government and put it into opposition. But then half his party defected and created a party called was it Māori Pacifica, and basically propped up the government to keep it going to the election. And it's also what brought in the waka jumping legislation the first time round.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Fun little facts. All right, we'll finish off.
Strengths, but they are few and far between. An aspiring tyrant could easily get around them. If Trump was elected here, he could cripple democracy and create an authoritarian police state almost instantly. Within 5 years, he would have turned us into North Korea. He could easily orchestrate mass arrests, even mass executions, aimed at his political opponents. And nothing would stop him. This country is very vulnerable to tyranny. There are no safeguards. We need to change that.
I'm ready to follow Trump. I'm ready. Let's do it, guys.
20% of New Zealanders support Donald Trump. 30% of New Zealanders like the idea of having a dictatorial leader. These are the facts. Freedom and democracy are losing ground the world over. We need to put safeguards in place before it is too late.
Such as, what are you proposing?
We need a supreme and entrenched constitution. We need to give...
I mean, I'm not entirely against that, but that would firstly rely on us becoming, I think, a republic to even have that happen, wouldn't it?
No, we don't. No, Australia has an entrenched constitution, and they're still a constitutional monarchy.
Okay.
And I mean,
because I thought the monarchy was tied to the constitution somehow, and so we couldn't do it that way.
Yes, it is. But also, the other unique thing about Australia is the fact that the states also have governors within their structure. So you know how in Australia they have the Governor General, which is Sam Mostyn, but they also have, each state has their own governor underneath that again that does the same job as the Governor General. So Australia's system is a constitutional monarchy. Its governors and Governor General are appointed the same way that a constitutional monarchy does it, which is that it's the king or the queen, but it has the representative, and the representative is the governor, which historically used to be appointed from the UK, and in more recent times from within the country, because that's the way we do things in the British Commonwealth now. Our Governor Generals come from within. I mean, one day you could be the Governor General, potentially. It is plausible.
So here's the thing too. So the Weimar Republic, people who don't know, that was the German Republic before Hitler came to power. It was had a very progressive constitution at the time it was made. It was seen as one of the strongest constitutional legislations in modern history when it was made. Within a span of about 3 years of Hitler coming into power, he had managed, well, not even that really, it took like 1 year for him to really bring in the Enabling Act.
Multiple elections he had to held to get his supermajority.
That's true. Well, it's a bit more complicated than that, but yes. So basically, he didn't have the
elections, though.
He didn't have the supermajority before, so he became chancellor before he had the supermajority.
Correct.
So he had something like a third of the House. So he managed to trick Hindenburg. Essentially, thought he could control Hitler, which wasn't the case. He played him the other way around. Managed to convince President Hindenburg, to give him the chancellorship. conveniently, whether it was them or not, the Reichstag fire happened, which enabled emergency powers, which enabled the Enabling Act from the Reichstag fire decree, which within a span of a couple of years, they pretty much had total control. So it doesn't matter, even something that was considered more robust than the US system. So in that situation, it didn't fucking matter. He, within a couple of years, managed to...
And it's also part of the reason why Germany has MMP.
Yep, true. Yeah.
And to coattail in Germany, you have to have 3 MPs to coattail, whereas in New Zealand, you only need 1.
Well, there you
so
go.
The coattailing provision in Germany actually has a bit of teeth behind it.
I like the, I think it's the Netherlands, they have a natural threshold on their seats. So no arbitrary threshold. It's just basically the percentage it would be required to get a seat, which would be, depending, I think, on like overhangs and stuff like that, it'd be something like 8%, 0.8% here.
Oh, okay.
I think would be nicer. That's, probably a much better count.
Yeah, well, if you got rid of coattailing, that would definitely work,
Yeah. Definitely get rid of the coattail rule, I'd say, and go natural threshold. Anyway, we won't do any more. Let's just do some more fun videos. Yeah.
Here's something that I want to actually sit there and bring up while we've got a chance.
Yeah, go for it.
At the end of the show. Oh, sorry, wrong key. Right next door to the shared screen key. Okay, so how many people out there don't have a driver's license or a passport and are struggling to figure out how to update your enrolment details? And also very important with the multi-ward electoral option, not multi-ward, multi-electoral roll, same thing, but not. If you do not have a driver's license or a passport, which, for those who are wondering, even that I've not left the country on this since it's been issued, I have one of these. I think it's opened up a bank account. I think it's opened up the bank accounts and dealt with any money laundering more. If you are online, you can go and you can also go to the option of I want to enroll online, and then no, that's the wrong key there. Other ways to enroll. That's the key you want, and you want to enroll with an ID. So what you do is you download this form here. And so, does that sit there? Are you over 18? Do you currently live in New Zealand? Yes. Are you eligible? Yes. Enroll now? Yes. I'd like to figure out how to download a form. So, well, that's damn helpful. Oh, I wonder if it puts those details, does it pre-print them in the form? But yeah, okay. Effectively, if you're enrolling without updating without an ID, you can sit there and do it. You can also download a blank enrolment form. And this is, so basically, if you get that and you want the form, now I'll blow this up so it's actually a ridiculously huge level. All you need to do to update that is have your lovely autograph on the bottom here, with obviously the right details. Make sure you actually put in your date of birth and don't miss anything. Otherwise, it does slow things down a little bit. But if you have that on there, and then you can you can scan and email your enrolment form to enrol@vote.nz. You don't have to rely on it to be sent in the post. So with these dates coming up, especially with the one on the 25th of October, if you need to update or have people to update their enrolment details, this is the way how you can sit there and do that, and you can email it to enrol@vote.nz, and that will put that into the registrar's list, ready to do the following day. So you don't even have to sit there and do it. Also, the other thing is, unless you've lived in a place for less than a month or you're living overseas, don't bother filling out the back of the form, just because that just causes more problems.
Jeff doesn't have a license or a passport, apparently. Please
make sure that you actually, if you are overseas, just do the online form using your passport or your driver's license and sit there and do that.
I just saw this joke. Good on you, Tane. That was clever. I'm sorry I missed that one. That's dark.
Yeah. So just remember, if you haven't got the IDs, you're not exactly screwed. You can do a paper enrolment form and email it in. Because I feel like so often people seem to just get lost with it, and they just feel like, oh, it's voter suppression because you got to have a driver's license or passport, which no, it's not the case at all. It just means you need your signature on the paperwork. That's the only difference. And I mean, when I worked for the Electoral Commission, you had to have that signature on there regardless. You couldn't even update your details online. If you update the online, when I worked them back from 2011 to 2016, they sent you out the form in the post and you had to sign for it. And the number of people who forgot to sign it and sent it back, oh God, that was huge. But, that's the thing there. And I remember going to places to get people on the electoral roll, and they're like, oh, we'll do it online. It's like, but you need to put your signature here on the form. You can fill out one of mine, and it's done and dusted. I can check if there's any mistakes before I go.
All right. Well, if you want, you can put the link in the chat. That should hopefully go through, but let me know if it doesn't. But thank you for letting us know. All right, we can do one video before we end, and we're going to do this one because it made me laugh.
I know. I'm on.
This is a bear stuck up a telephone pole.
Are you calling about a bear? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's on the power pole. Yeah, it's alive. Yes. Just leave it. Okay. And because I already called the Game and Fish, and they said there's nothing that they could do. They could go and shoot it, tranquilize it to get it down, but it's gonna.
No, don't do that.
If they do that, then it's gonna fall and could hurt itself. So they told me that.
I mean, the fuck do you do when there's a bear? I mean, you can't prep for that kind of situation, I don't think, in society. What happens to the bears?
That's worse than the seal on the road blocking traffic. How did the bear climb up the power pole?
Oh, I don't fucking know. Actually, this one was funny. Have you heard about the lettuce?
Is this the Liz Truss lettuce?
No.
There's this nasty parasite that is giving people in 9 states explosive diarrhea. When is it going to be safe to eat lettuce again?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. It's the first time I've been asked that question. Are you eating lettuce?
I just thought that was a funny question to ask. When will it be safe for people to eat lettuce again, Mr. President? I don't fucking know. This goes on too long. I don't want to listen to him drone on.
Yeah.
We can do this one too. Actually, this one made me laugh. This is, classic abortion clinic, and you got the preacher outside of it. I love this lady's reaction.
Oh man, do you know what happens at this place? Shut the fuck up. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. God bless you, man.
Yes. And I encourage this behavior if anyone sees it.
I haven't seen it more recently. I was at Wellington Hospital. It used to be so common at one stage. They'll be out there praying away.
All right. Anyway, we got about 2 minutes before we got to end and let people head over to BHN. But do you want to tell people where to find you or anything you want to say before?
If you want to click there and find, you got itsintheballot.nz. You can head to the website. That's one of the projects. If you want to find my coffee cart, it's at Newtown Market every Saturday. Also coming up, we've got a online It's in the Ballot show this Wednesday at 7 o'clock. For the Wairarapa by-election show, so the campaign to sit there and to find the replacement for Adrian Staples after she unexpectedly passed away earlier this year. And quite interesting, they've got a candidate called Alistair Plimmer who believes what makes a great candidate is they're appearing on Facebook, posting things and commenting, as that is what makes a good councillor. And it just seems quite ludicrous. He's also declined to appear on the show. So we won't have Alistair on this Wednesday, but we'll have his other 5 opponents. And I mean, the great thing about it is there's a thing called STV. So, people could rank everyone ahead of Alistair Plimmer. So he could lose the election by not appearing on It's in the Ballot.
I mean, let's hope so. Surely. Get your numbers up. Get your ratings up, mate. All right.
I mean, I know who would like to have Win on there, but at the same time, on It's in the Ballot, we're meant to be politically neutral.
Oh, don't tell people that. You're supposed to be biased leftist. Anyway, thank you, everyone, and thank you again, Sam, for joining us tonight. Probably wouldn't have had a stream if you didn't manage to show up in the end.
All right. Got to have a bunch of good audiences. And
I hope you had fun. Anyway, we're going to go out to an internet classic, so... everyone enjoy Cool Guy's day off. Chill day. Sorry, Cool Guy has a chill day was the title. I just love the music. Hey, cool guy.
It's cool guy. Cool guy.
Kakute FM.